look for certain code words. Anytime a woman says, if you're a real man, translation, whatever I say after this is going to put you in a position of disadvantage while simultaneously putting me in a position of advantage.
Agenda.
All right? Yeah. We're going to translate the fucking womanese for you guys because a lot of you guys are in a relationship or dealing with some fucking bitch right now that does this shit to you and shames your dumb ass because you don't know better.
Yeah.
Anytime a girl says, if you're a real man, right? Translation, the next part of that sentence is going to be something that puts you at a disadvantage while simultaneously giving her an advantage. What is she really doing? She's saying, why are you going ahead and getting other women, right, when I'm right here? But the reason she says that is because she doesn't want you to have other women. Because guess what happens when you have other women? You start to not give a fuck. You start to realize, she starts to realize that her value and her power over you is diminished. And she realizes, oh my God, I have to work for this man's validation now. I have to work to keep this guy around because he can replace me anytime. And guess what? Women are fucking lazy. All right? They're fucking lazy most of the time. This is why they're not in hard labor work. This is why they prefer to stay at home with the kids. This is why they don't work as hard as men in general. They don't put in the same amount of hours, etc. They're fucking lazy in general. So the thing is, the reason why women want to get married so much is because they want to be able to sit there and not put in the fucking work to attract you anymore. Guess what? You got to keep that bitch on her toes. And you keep her on her toes by staying attractive and being able to replace her at any fucking time. So they will sit there and try to shame you and say, if you're a real man, XYZ, never fall for that shit because they're trying to take the advantage in the relationship. Understand, guys, that every single intersexual dynamic relationship between a man and a woman is always a game of chess. It's always a battle between the two to maintain leverage because one party must like the other party more than they like them. That's how every single fucking relationship works. Your job as the man is to make sure that she always likes you more than you like her. Not the other way around. But women are going to try to chip away at your fucking armor all the time and try to say, oh, if you're a real man, you wouldn't have other women. If you're a real man, you would do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because she gets the advantage when she does that. If she eliminates your other options of other females, she knows that she has no fucking leverage. And women don't have leverage. Guess what they have to do? They have to work for your attention. They have to work for your validation. They have to work to be with you. And most women don't want to do that. That's why they walk down in that fucking white dress, get married, and then be able to collect anytime they divorce you because they know that they don't have to maintain themselves. Why do so many fucking bitches become fat after they get married? Because they know that you ain't going nowhere. Once a woman gets comfortable and knows you ain't going nowhere, that's when disrespect comes. That's when the talking shit comes. That's where even where some of the domestic violence might come. And I've showed a study on that women are actually larger perpetrators of domestic violence than men are. Yeah, I fucking said it. It's the truth. Women absolutely start more domestic violence, and anytime that there's domestic violence and there's only one way, women are always more likely the perpetrators than the men. But the reality is, society will never fucking tell you that. They'll always say that the men are the perpetrators, the men are the bad guys, the men are the assholes, the men are the pigs, the men are the dogs. No, it's the females that are the perpetrators anytime there's one-way domestic violence. And if you don't believe me, there's a reason why fucking lesbians have the highest levels of domestic violence out of any relationship.
Uh-oh.
Okay? But they don't want you to know this shit in mainstream media, do they?
Nope.
Okay? Guys, this is what I'm talking about when I say the red pill. This is just about having the knowledge of how female nature works and everything else like that. It's about knowing how the world really fucking works. The shit that they don't want you to know. They don't want you guys to know this type of shit. They don't want you to realize your own value, and they're always going to try to shame you because a man that knows his value is the most dangerous thing on fucking earth. Because women can't manipulate you, other people can't manipulate you, and a man that stands on his own 2 fucking feet, on his own 10 toes, no one can stop him. That's why they always go after the fighting age males first. That's why they know if they want to destroy society, they go after the men first. They don't go after the women, man. Nobody gives a fuck what they're going to do. They can't fight to defend themselves anyway. It's the men, guys. So don't sit there and let any of these people shame you, whether it's through religion, through society, through morality, through, well, you have self-control. You should be able to do. Shut the fuck up. I had the self-control to build up this kingdom. Now I want to enjoy the fruits of my fucking labor. I busted my ass to get to this point. Ain't nobody gonna fucking tell me how to spend my fucking value that I had to create. Don't let women shame you, guys, because whenever they shame you, 9 out of 10 times you're doing something right that puts them in a position of disadvantage while you simultaneously have the advantage. And the only way that you're going to have the advantage in dating in 2024 and beyond, or any type of relationship with a female, is the ability to replace her. And they don't want you to be able to do that.
Don DeMarco.
Yeah, man.
Don DeMarco.
I'm on one today, man, because these tradcons don't fucking get it, bro. They really don't fucking get it, okay? And I'm going to talk about why things have changed so much here in a second. But I had to respond to that clip because it's been pissing me off. Because women do that shit all the time. They try that dumb shit. Why don't you just have one girl, blah, 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 blah. It's because they get the leverage when they know that they are your only source of sex, guys.
You made a good point, though. Justin doesn't want to argue with these girls. 100%. That's why
He don't like to debate them.
He didn't go in. I don't blame him, bro.
Yeah.
I don't blame him at all.
Yeah. Like what he did actually
Yeah.
is the correct way to deal with women in real life. What he did.
But on the podcast.
But on a podcast, you have to debate these bitches. But my thing is, excuse me, normally in real life, you don't have a discussion like that with a female. Like, I'm not going to fucking explain myself to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, he really is like that. That's how he is. I'm not
Yeah.
going to explain myself to some fucking woman, right? But on a debate, obviously, you're supposed to do that shit. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. But Just is just like that. Just is what I would call like a natural. You know what I mean? Just naturally masculine guy, naturally red pill guy. Obviously, played athlete. He was a athlete in college. Like, he's just naturally that dude. So he just, what was his instinct? Woman speaks, don't explain. You know what I mean? So, but obviously for the purposes of YouTube and entertainment and all this other shit, you have to be able to debate these 304s back. And that's what I'm trying to say is that I could see through the language. I could see through the nuanced language that she's using of she's trying to guilt him with, oh, you're a disciplined guy and all these other features.
You should do this.
Why aren't you being disciplined in this situation?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Never fall for that fucking trap because they will try to sit there and attack your masculinity for not doing what's right. Be a man of your word, right? But on the other hand, there's no such thing as a woman of her word because women reserve the right to change their mind at any fucking time. Let's say you be this fucking nice guy and she decides, you know what? I'm bored. I'm gonna go ahead and divorce, which they initiate 80% of the fucking divorces, by the way. That's what the tradcoms don't want you motherfuckers to know, right? And they're reserved the right to leave you at any fucking time that they want to, but they're not gonna tell you that either. They're gonna sit there and tell you be a strong man and have one girl and give her the world, etc. She could leave your dumb ass at any time and take all your money in the process.
We've seen it a lot, actually, recently.
Happens all the time.
Even in their same space, people are getting divorced. But that actually brought up a point for me as well. Women have a skill of self-sabotage. They literally tell you from the very beginning, you know what? I don't like your beard. Change it. You know what? This isn't going my way. Do it this way. And over time, things change in her direction, her agenda. And she said on the podcast, Justin, why didn't you or why shouldn't you have self-control over your urges? But he said earlier, she could do the same thing as well for herself. But ultimately, we see all the time here in real life. Women say, oh, if you're not a real man, you're going to take care of the kids. My kids. You're a stepdad. If you're a real man, you would actually have control over yourself and become a better man. But ultimately, man, you're the man that has to decide for yourself what you want to do as a man. And if you don't decide for yourself, she'll decide for you. So it's what it is.